It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this robust lifestyle show. Please check out our website, divasthatcare.com, and see all the amazing hosts and their shows of women they are interviewing around the world. I am so overly excited today to have a new diva, Sandra Mendelson, with me, and she is going to speak about how the animal kingdom is supporting us in reclaiming who we really are. Oh my, this sounds fantastic. Sandra Mendelson, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, well, thank you, Joyce. Hi, everybody. My name is Sandra, and after, a career in, corporate stuff and then switching to the healing professions with light therapy and health coaching, I had one of those pivotal moments where I was working on a horse who had an injured foot, and I was crawling around on the ground, and I heard a voice boom very loudly in my head. This hay is crap. And I looked up, and we were alone, and I saw the horse just flinging the top of the bale of hay away. And about 2 minutes later, a woman walked in and declared, "There's mold all over the hay." Okay, not very exciting. But about 3 weeks later, a horse completely rocked my world. Again, hearing that voice that was not mine. When the barn closes at 4 o'clock, we can drop the facade and be our true selves. We hear the birds speak, the plants speak, everything. And it went on from there, and I started writing this stuff down because I was like, I'm losing my mind. But over time, with the, lots of practice, getting messages that only clients could know about themselves or their animals and in a helping way, the horses really just said, you got to tap into your telepathic abilities, tune into anyone from anywhere. I said, I can't do that. And I sat down, though, on the floor of my apartment, and a water buffalo, a sacred cow, clearly in Mumbai, and a blue whale came through. And it was the most mind-blowing stuff that ever happened. And all of the messages, it turned out to be about 53 species that came through before I published my first book, We Walk Beside You. Clearly, it's time. It's time to partner with humans in waking up to who we really are, and breaking out of programming that held us back, and as a hippo would say, numbed us up and dumbed us down. And, these are messages for everyone, because think about it. If they're not part of the human condition, they're going to have a different perspective. And it turns out it's really quite helpful and inspiring. So, yes, there's been a few books, and books for children, books for adults, and that's why I'm excited to be here, because I think what the animals have been sharing is just so in sync with what so many wonderful female guests have been tapping into, our inner wisdom, really why we're here. And there's a lot of joy underneath all of it.
Oh, wow. Wow. Did you ever have an aha moment? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. Many of them. Yeah.
Oh, that is so incredible.
Is brought to you. You know what I mean? There's so many women, though, right now that are discovering their gifts. And that's why I always like to bring this up. If you're studying Reiki, energy work, homeopathy, obviously with care, the animals are so energetically sensitive. They will show you, yes, I feel that coming out of your hands, before a human in our denseness, because, our bodies are denser. Mm-hmm. So they will show you and urge you on. Yeah, oh, that feels good. Yeah.
Oh, I just love that. Oh, my goodness, that is just incredible. And, yes, the energy and, like you said, the talents that so many women, they just never let them surface is kind of sometimes how I feel. And we have so much talent given to us and so much to give back to the world. And I just love how you're incorporating how the animals are helping bring those talents out. Oh, that is just awesome. Now, on the energy aspect of it, do you see through your communications, do you see all different levels of energy coming from different animals?
Well, because my main clair ability, there's 8 clair abilities from clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience. My main one is clairaudience. So I hear. Sometimes I even hear accents. But it has become so only over time because this began in 2012. So now we're in 2020 and a lot has surfaced, begun to see patterns. But, each soul is unique and it is at its own level of development. So I've gotten, very, it's too late for that, from a chimpanzee. That was really just, they're all at at different points on their path. And I've also heard from the consciousness of an entire species. So I've heard from individuals on, their personality. I've heard from the soul consciousness of the entire species. And I've also come to understand, I've heard from the oversoul. The oversoul is something that animals are much more aware of than we are. But suffice it to say, when you hear the message, it's very obvious where it's coming from because the level is so beyond personality. You know what I mean? When it comes from the oversoul, it is an understanding that, let's say, all animals of that species can tap into. But each soul is working its own lessons and its own path. So energetically, yes, they do come through quite differently based on who's doing the talking. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, it does. That's awesome because, I just kind of look at, I have cattle and horses and dogs and cats, and I especially have 3 horses that being around them, it's just a whole different energy field on each one, a whole different kind of, they touch different senses in my body, I guess I might say.
Oh, no, that's well put. That's beautifully said. In fact, here's the cool thing about horses that they've told me, because certain species really, while all animals are much more conscious of being energetic beings, they tune into energy fields, they put energy before accomplishment. It goes on and on. But horses, whales, elephants, in particular. And some say dolphins are messengers of the whales. I haven't connected with them very, very much, but I have the horses, whales, and elephants. They do very big energetic work, and horses in particular have partnered with humans in our awakening. That's why they keep urging us to meditate with them, and they say, in our presence, awareness blooms. They are compassionate enough. They see what's going on. They're sensitive enough to see what's going on in humans, and compassionate enough to partner with us and try to help. And that's why there's all these beautiful equine industries that have emerged, seeing horses as healers, equine facilitated learning, and obviously, it goes on from there. So you're feeling different things around each horse is absolutely spot on. They are, when they work on your energy field, they tend to work on different layers too. I could go on forever, but we don't have that much time.
Well, it's so good to hear that because I feel like sometimes, oh my goodness, is this really, really happening? And it's just the way they come across to me. I just absolutely love it. Yesterday I was out with one and he's put his head over the fence and put it so close to me. He was just like, okay, I know you need me right now. And he just stood there, and that's not always like him. So it's incredible. Yes, horses I feel too, they are such teachers and healers, as you have said, and it is an amazing world with these horses and all the animals.
It is. I can tell you though, I have a client with a lot of cats, and her husband has become quite ill. And if I tell you how these cats have shifted, cats that never surfaced, that were always hiding in the, other rooms, and they are now by his side, the husband's side, watching over him. They alternate. It is just incredible to see them step up to the plate when they really finally had a mission. They really were needed. Incredible.
Oh, that is an incredible story. Oh, my goodness. That is awesome. Well, I always chuckle because I call my husband the cat magnet, because wherever he is, you'll see the cats. They're right there with him. Oh, that is so neat. That is neat to hear. Oh, I love that.
Well, when a cat stares you down, they want you to get out of the monkey mind. And cats, more than any other animal, will just go, oh, my goodness, really? Your mind is a chatterbox.
Oh, that's good. That is really neat. Oh, I love that. That's incredible. On your website, and there is a picture of a horse on there. Does this horse hold a special meaning to you, or was this just a random horse picture that was put on your website?
Well, based on what page on my website you're on, there are quite a number of animal photos. The lead photo is not is an image that my web designer put on there. The other photos throughout the, about my work and the books and stuff, these are animals I've communicated with that, changed my world. They're not, I don't like the word ownership, but we're going to use familiar terms. I don't have a horse. But I've had access to certain horses that have really featured so powerfully and consistently in the messages that I share on Facebook, on my blog. So, you kind of get everything in the images on my website.
Oh, yes. I just love your website. It is so awesome. There is a quote on there that I absolutely love. The animals are waiting for us to join them in co-creating a world that heals and thrives. I'm like, oh, my word. Does that one sentence it sums so much up. I absolutely love that. That is beautiful.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. Well, since we talked a little bit about horses, what cause is near and dear to you that you're really passionate about? I know you've talked about all your works, but what cause is near and dear to you?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because I've given to there's so many causes, as you all well know. And what I've really come to see is women that are reselling their body, using every penny they have. They are so committed to animal rescue that I really love the local nonprofits that I've had a chance to observe. And there's one here called Apache Rose Sanctuary and Horse Rescue, and it's in Jupiter, Florida. And they don't just rescue the horses. The woman that runs the place is so tuned into what the horses' other gifts are and what they want that she finds them situations where they are able to become teachers or healers, working with children, working with the disabled. But she watches the horses and she knows which ones are ideal. Look, some horses are made to run, and those are the winners at the racetrack. Again, I always keep saying, remember how individual they all are. Not every horse is meant to run and race. And so many have these other gifts that women like Linda at Apache Rose are enabling the horses to actualize. It's what they're here to do. And it's beautiful to see it. In fact, one of the horses she rescued off of a racetrack, who was named General, said, in our world, we'd forward. As soon as when he first came to rescue, he was a mess. He said, as soon as I feel better, I want to help other horses. And then, it all unfolded, and she placed him and another horse that I spoke with, and they're doing amazing work. So it's very inspiring for me to give to a cause like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can see why. Oh, my goodness. What an incredible place, how they're placing the horses by the horses' needs and what their abilities are and what they can help people with. Oh, I love that. And there is so much, and maybe it's always been there, but I feel it's really opening up. Doors are starting to open on how much horses can help people with all kinds of different problems. And I think that's incredible. I love horses, so they're one of my many animals I love.
Yeah, they do change. They change you.
Yes.
If you pay attention and you look across at them. A horse named Albert said, most horses only show you their vanilla exterior when tutti frutti lies beneath. Our sense of humor, our problem-solving abilities, our compassion, and yet that intelligence you humans prize so highly, you will only see the full extent of it when you view us differently first. Until then, you will only see through the slats a partial image of our souls. And I have seen horses just have that glazed look in their eye where you see they're just not showing you anything. They're just surviving their search. They have shut down who they are. But that's starting to change, and women are leading that one by one by one. They are leading that effort.
Oh, that is incredible. I love that, and how it's so fitting on Divas That Care, because it's a community of women working to make the world a better place, and how women are doing that, and in just one instance with horses themselves. Oh, that is just beautiful. I love that. No wonder that cause is so dear and near to you. I love that cause.
Well, you know what? There are more and more places that are emerging where the horses energetically are doing healing work on humans. There are places in Canada, in the United States, and the people that come are so transformed by what happens, by what you cannot hide from a horse. I mean, literally, imagine every time a woman stood up and a horse would start, knocking over her stool and pawing at her kind of lower body, and it turns out she almost lost her legs a few times. So the trauma had to be released. I mean, I know people in Colorado that are doing this work, in California. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, my goodness. You got to stop me or I keep going.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That is just so awesome. Well, it's always been so interesting to me because some people just, they are kind of scared of horses. And I mean, horse will immediately pick up on that. I've always seen how horses pick up on what kind of people they're around. And I've always thought, that is just incredible how they know. I mean, I've heard it said that horses know your mood and how you are feeling way before you ever get near to them. And I believe that. I totally believe it.
Yeah, they are so sensitive. They tune. What I try to tell people is, in Chapter 5 of We Walk Beside You, squirrels gave real details on how animals get their information, which is many ways. And they do tap into your thought stream. Birds disseminate information. I've learned this from horses from many species. And so they get it in the web of life. If you can imagine this network that only humans can't see, these threads that it's like an internet, but they don't need computers. That's what they've told me. So yes, a horse is going to be the best therapy because instead of sitting there in a chair with arms folded, shifting from one cheek to another, analyzing what comes out of your mouth, they are responding to your energy. They are responding to your thoughts. People say mirroring. I like to say responding. And because prisoners and people that are trying to recover from addiction, they start to own their own emotion because they see the horse respond and to if they're feeling angry, and the horse will take off. Things like that. It's really healing because you own your own emotions.
Oh, wow. Wow. And the horse brings that out. Oh, how beautiful. Wow. No wonder there are so many places opening up that are helping people with all kinds of different traumas and problems in their life through horses. Oh, that I love. I love that. That is just incredible. Well, I think you've kind of touched a lot on a little bit of a question I was going to ask you is why should we listen to messages from animals? What value can they really hold for humans? And I know you've touched on it a little bit.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm like a horse that can't wait to get out of the gate. I don't know how much time I'll have. I'm going to try to just give you a couple, but I have at least 11, 12 things I could mention about what I've gathered from them over time. Well, first of all, start with the easy stuff. Imagine, especially as a woman, how different your focus would be if you never looked in a mirror. Yep. Imagine that. Imagine the time, the energy, the self-concept, how it would not get in your way and your intentions, right? So that's number one. Number two, they do not measure time the way we do. They do not measure minutes and hours. They do know day from night and morning from night, and a long time and a short time, and bigger blocks of time. They do know times of day for sure because they know the difference in the sun and, energetically, but they are not prisoners of either the illusion in the mirror or time. They do not live isolated. We think we're alone, but because they tap into this grid, they are always aware of their connection to all, to their kind, and to all of life. And that's so key because we humans we're trying to recover that awareness now, that we are part of everything that is living, that even if we can't tell, start meditating and fake it till you make it. Right? So because it's really cool. It goes deeper from that. Like because they understand oneness, because they see, like the blue whale said to me, the ocean is an extension of who they are. That because of this awareness, they know that all healing begins with self-kindness and self-love and compassion. Because when you help it goes out into the web and it affects all. There's more. There's so much more. We are addicted, if you will, to our five senses, although many of us are opening up to more right now. But animals perceive not only using their five senses, but they use their sixth sense at the same time. So they get a lot more information from the outset than we do, and they don't live in fear. Now, I'm talking about wild animals because, as they've told me, the closer they are to the human condition, the more they will experience anxiety. You know what I mean? But they don't fear the unknown. They respond with fear in the moment to a circumstance, like being rounded up on a plane. That's a response to what is. Human fear is what we create in our minds about what might happen. Hello, coronavirus, the fear. So animals do not know in the wild, they do not know anxiety. Obviously, as I mentioned, they know a lot more about our world than we do. I mean, I've had squirrels crack me up saying, we're in the leaves and we see everything that you don't. We hear your thoughts. I mean, it goes on from there. They're loosely tied to this form. See, in the human world, we always think that death is the worst thing. And animals know, they have many species have spoken on this topic. This is just one lifetime. And then the body breaks down, and then you get a little rest, as they say, and then you get a new model, like a car. So they do not cling to the form that they're in, to the life that they are leading. And, we humans suffered tremendously because of that. Should I stop talking? Because I got more. I don't want to eat up all the time because I have a lot more.
I just love it. You are touching on so many beautiful things. And yes, I would like this to go on and on and on. You have so much to share with our listeners. It is just incredible. I just love listening to it. What we are definitely going to do is bring you back. There is no doubt about it, because we could do a whole interview on just that one question. From everything you are, just a couple notes. I love that, to never look in a mirror. How do us women judge ourselves by what we see in that mirror? And
that's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we're always, and measuring time. time always seems to be such a factor in all of our lives. Oh, my goodness. Those first two and all the rest are sixth senses and not to fear. We will definitely be back and just do an interview. I would love to have you back and just do an interview on that one question. I know we could talk through a whole interview with it. I love it.
It would be a joy. I mean, in the meantime, there's so very much to share with people. So I'd just like to share two things. There's a lot of animal channelings on the blog at my website. So if they just go to Mendelson, SMendelson.com, and they click on the turquoise blog box, there's over 100 different channelings of different topics, and I think they might enjoy that. And also my Facebook page. I have two of them, but they could just look up We Walk Beside You, the Facebook page, to see more channelings. I mean, you get the most comprehensive understanding of how all these pieces of the animal world fit together if you read the book, because, you have the ability to unfurl it and use lots of different animal stories. But I just want it to be available, animal wisdom and animal consciousness to be available to people and to inspire people to tap into their own abilities and trust what they're getting, what they're sensing, what they're feeling, their inner knowing from animals.
Right. Oh, yes. That is just beautiful. I love that. And and to tap in, and we will definitely all of your websites and your information on this interview. And just to kind of come in a closing, you've said so much, do you have just some final tips, thoughts, tools you would like to leave with our listeners? You've left so many things with them already. Do you have some final ones you would like to leave with us today?
Well, so very many things from the animals are they're savoring worthy. You need to hear them over and over because your noisy mind will lure you back. But it's funny how for anybody that is familiar with Abraham Hicks and all of this, creating with your mind and manifesting, the toughest thing, just like people believe in God but cannot see God, making the cognitive leap to believe in the power of your own thoughts is huge. And animals are really emphatic about how powerful we really are. We must just, when we look at the ills in the world and it breaks our heart and sometimes immobilizes us, the animals keep saying the same thing: focus only on what you want to have happen, because we feel everything in the web and your sadness is unbearable. It's fascinating. So, yes, an animal in Borneo feels what we're thinking. Is that a hard cognitive leap for us to make? Maybe. It's all the internal. Know that a horse said it best. Every thought matters because it affects matter.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, what fabulous thoughts to leave. Oh, I love those. That was awesome, Sandra. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know what? It is such a joy. If somebody gave you a jewel, you would want to share it. And that is really what this whole experience that keeps unfolding with the animal kingdom is about. It's like piecing together a puzzle I'll never finish. But why on earth would I keep that to myself? It's so helpful for us to, especially now, to find our truth and know that the animal kingdom there's never been a veil. They've never been misled. So it's get out into nature, go be with the animals.
Oh, yes, I love that. Oh, I totally love that. Definitely. Oh, Sandra, I want to thank you so much for being my guest. And like I said, I would love to interview you again, and we will give more information on the one question. We'll do an interview on that, and we'll update all of our listeners on your books, all your messages through animals, and you've told them how to connect with your blogs and how you're working with a sanctuary on rescuing animals. Oh, my goodness. There is so much more for us to share. You have so much to share with the listeners. We will definitely, I would love to have you back again.
Oh, super, because I also have an article on my blog about, 9 or 10 steps to take so you can start connecting with animals in a deeper way. So, yes, It's fun. It's wonderful to share it. And I thank you so much for having me here, really.
Oh, you are so welcome. So welcome. It was totally my pleasure. I loved every minute of it. And like I said, we'll post all of Sandra Mendelson's social media links to this podcast. And I want to thank all our listeners for listening to this interview with our amazing new diva, Sandra Mendelson. Please share this show with your family and friends. Be sure to check out all the hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. Have a fantastic day. Be kind to all. Give your animals an extra hug and share your love with them. Until we connect again on Robust Lifestyle, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.